Welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to be making cupcakes from 1838, and the thing is, I don't bake. My wife bakes. I stay away from baking because my wife tells me to. But because today is our secret wedding anniversary, we are going to surprise her and then she'll taste test it. I don't have very high hopes for this. Like I said, I cook, I don't bake. But let's just jump into it. Now, to get in the mood, I think what we're going to do is really get into costume. So, this outfit is brought to you by the Little House on the Prairie or Love Comes Softly section at Target. Yeah, no, this doesn't work for me. So, yeah, we're getting closer, but yeah, no. All right, we're just going to go back to basics. I'm going to be comfortable while I'm doing this. So, welcome to my cooking show. Up next, we have special guest Matthias Journey. Special guest Sassy Journey. Mr. Boops Boops McGee Journey. All right, so we are going to work smarter and not harder. So we got a glass bowl here that we're going to use, and I went ahead and put my 2 sticks of butter in here, and we're going to put them on the oven. We're keeping the oven on because we're going to work smarter and not harder. So I'm hoping that it softens the butter up a little bit, and then we can get back to baking because I'm going to listen to my wife who actually bakes. So we'll be right back after this short message. Hi, today I'm with special guest Carol Journey. And today we're celebrating 5 years of marriage, our secret wedding anniversary. So, what's it like being married for 5 years? You have any advice for those at home that are watching?
Don't interrupt your spouse when they're eating cereal.
That's really interesting. So we're going to continue this interview. Tell me, what's your favorite recipe since you're not from the South and don't know how to cook Southern food? It's been about an hour and a half and our butter has gotten soft. So now we're going to start getting the ingredients together. So Carol is actually allergic to eggs. So we have to use egg beaters because I don't want to kill my wife. So 4 eggs actually equals 1 cup of egg beaters. So we're going to go ahead and put that in our measuring cup. All right, that's 1 cup. And then we need 2 cups of sugar. Got this. Put that there for a second. 2 cups of sugar. Jesus, that's a lot. 1, 2. And then we need...
May I offer a suggestion?
Yeah.
Sugar is actually a wet ingredient.
Oh, shit. Okay, who knew? Why is it wet?
It's considered a wet ingredient.
Well, my ancestors didn't think so. All right. So that's in the wet ingredients. We're going to go ahead and pour the eggs in there as well, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I don't know why I'm asking someone from the Pacific Northwest, but we do what we do when we get married. All right, and then I need 3 cups of flour. All right, so we're going to put this in the sifter?
Yes. Wait.
I know. I know.
I just wanted to turn out well because I'm going to be tasting this.
1. Right?
Mm-hmm.
2.
3.
Jesus. Come on. Jesus.
There you go.
All right. 3. All right.
You can sift it directly over the thing if you want. But it's okay. You can do it. No, I would actually do it in there.
All right. So this is what they would have done back then. Just to basically make sure there wasn't anything in the flour that would have made anything not taste right. So basically like bugs. Really, I mean, if you think about it, it was really bugs, right?
Oh, we still sift today even though there's no bugs.
Oh yeah, but I mean, back then, I don't really know what the point of this is.
It's to make sure there's no lumps in the flour.
Oh, like bugs.
It makes it cook even more evenly.
Oh, who knew? Obviously people who bake. The frugal housewife knew. How do you get the rest out?
Just keep doing it. It's still coming out.
I know, this just seems like... Oh, there are lumps. Wow.
Yeah.
And it like breaks the lumps up?
Yeah. Doesn't have to be every single...
No, but that's really cool. Look at the lumps. And then there is actually something. It's like just... It's like a little... That's probably in the sifter. Alright, so we got that.
Yep.
So now I'm going to... Is it easier to pour the wet into the dry?
No.
Okay,
Always
dry.
pour the dry into the wet. Don't do all of it though. Just do some of it.
Okay. Like half?
Like half.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
And then the mixer. And I did do a little research. Not this. Okay. Obviously, my research was in vain. This one?
No, I would not use a whisk
Okay.
because the butter is too.
Okay. So
thick.
like what? Like a...
I would just like that spoon right here.
This
spoon
one?
right there.
Okay.
Should be okay.
What I was going to say is I did some research about the different tools they were going to use, and I was going to use the mixer because it would have been easier on my hand because I don't bake. And I'm still regaining my strength from a lot of stuff. But Carol suggested a spoon just now, which is...
I typically...
If I had a wooden spoon, that would be a little more correct.
Mm-hmm. I would use a fork, but
You
that's
just gave me a spoon.
But that's me. A spoon is easier.
Well, we can only wish we were as talented. All right, so mixing it together. Part of me wanted to use my hands, but
I wouldn't for cupcakes. For dough, yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm not allowed to make the wedding cake, so that was turned down pretty quickly. Jesus, how do you get the lumps out? Like the butter?
Just keep stirring and doing. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing.
All right, good.
Yeah,
Gotta make Dr. Cooper proud. Lord knows. I will not be bringing these to class for people to try.
Yeah, you're doing good. Yeah, just smushing them out like that.
Okay. Because the butter was soft, but now it's kind of like...
Yeah, because you added the cold eggs to it, so it kind of... But I would put the flour in it.
Okay, more flour?
More flour. Mm-hmm. I was going to let you do this all on your own, but I'm glad I didn't.
Thanks. Thanks, baby. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary!
This might be what breaks us up.
Never.
Never. Never, never. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like mixing it in like that?
Yep. It's the one way to keep from making a mess.
So I will say this, is that if this actually turns out good, I'll be a little proud of myself. It was way more nice us doing it together than me surprising you, because it would have turned out really bad. So I'll make sure Dr. Cooper gives you extra credit too.
Okay.
So you're gonna mix it like this, and you really want the consistency to be mixed. Now, if you're Southern, like I am, you really want to make sure that your ancestors are speaking to you while you're mixing. So this could be remembering your great-grandmother's, quilt, or the conversations you had over Bible study, or even the traumatic events of being a pastor's kid. But it is kind of cool to think of people doing this back then. Like, I can imagine my great-grandmother doing this.
Mm.
Or like she was born in 1908, so I guess her mother would have done this to a degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and their cakes were always really good. Okay, so now when it's like this, can I mix it with my hands?
Yeah.
Okay. It just seems like it'll be easier.
I'd put a little bit of flour on your hands first.
Okay. Won't that make it...
So, would that what?
Won't that add flour to it?
I mean, I wouldn't, I would just coat them, just dust them. Yeah.
And I did wash my hands. We're very big on washing our hands in this house.
So, cake dough isn't normally that thick, so this is a much different recipe than I'm used to for cake dough.
Yeah, it's really thick. Like it's
it looks like cookie dough to
It
me.
does look like cookie dough. And feels like cookie dough. Like it feels,
Yeah.
I didn't take my wedding ring off.
That's all right.
I was like, what is, yeah, it's definitely, it does feel like cookie dough. So I wonder, you know, if this is more like, we think of cupcakes, right, as not being little cakes, but it's like separate, you know? At least I do. When I think of cupcakes, I don't think of a cake. So I wonder if this is like mini cakes.
Oh, maybe.
Maddie, PETA would agree. PETA, do not come in here.
That looks good.
Well, I'm still feeling big chunks of butter, see?
Oh, I see.
I'm just
Well,
trying
it just
to...
means those pieces will be really buttery.
It smells like cake dough. Do you smell it? God bless America.
Okay.
I'm in...
Let's go back to the spoon now.
Yeah, I think we're about good. I did not expect this to happen. I feel like I have slime, like that goo on my hands. But this was the easiest way to get it, for me, at least. I'm still building up strength. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to split this in half. So half of it's going to be the original recipe from the Frugal Housewife. And then the other half is going to be how you would normally make cupcakes. So, I mean normally we're going to add some salt and we're going to add a little bit of vanilla. That's how I knew how to make cupcakes from my great-grandmother, was adding those things. But obviously this is a different recipe. So maybe my great-great-grandmother did this, or, you know, going further back maybe. But how I was taught to make cupcakes was always to add a little bit of vanilla and add a little salt. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to split this in half, basically right down the middle. We got the dough all mixed up good, or as good as I could. It is very thick. I'm going to do one more spoonful. My wife agrees, so that works. It actually looks like mashed potatoes. Just you think that's half? Yeah, it's half. I'm going to use this real quick just to get that off. So we're not losing any dough. And it's not, you would think that it's wet, and it is obviously wet, but it's not as wet, I guess, as I'm used to. All right, so that was a bad idea.
I'm going to move this.
I'm trying not to, I'm going to try not to, like, edit this out because I think it's really funny to me. Why not? All right, so this is vanilla, pure vanilla extract.
Yep.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do probably a little cup full. And my audience agrees.
That's plenty.
It's more than enough. It might be a little too vanilla.
Might be a little too much, yeah.
But it's fine. And then
Salt.
Salt. So I'm going to put it in my hand first. And I'm basically going to stop, and I'm going to stop when the ancestors tell me.
That's plenty.
Stop. You're not my ancestor. You're my wife.
I am kin, though.
You are kin. Really? Good use of the word kin, baby.
Thanks, honey.
We don't have a family tree. We have a family bush. So funny, but it's so true. I'll tell you a little story real quick. So we did, what's it called? Ancestry.com, right? Because I wanted to know a little bit more about my biological family, because people were adopted and all that fun stuff, right? So I found out my biological grandfather's family actually is more intellectual and more scholarly, and I got to meet them. But when I was doing the thing, I was so confused because one family married the other family, so they were uncles, aunts, and cousins. And it wasn't a tree. I had to like look to see who was married and who was cousins and who didn't. So it was a bush. It was like built out like this and not up and down like this. And I had to stop because I got so confused. Like it was so bad. All right, so this actually looks more like cupcake to me.
Yeah.
It feels more like cupcake batter to me. I'm still got a little chunk of butter in there, but that's fine. That little piece will just be a little more buttery. Now this, on the other hand, is really thick. You can tell by the way the spoon is just kind of having some trouble. So it doesn't say to oil the cupcake pan, right? Doesn't say to do that. What I'm gonna do though is so it doesn't burn on it, because this is not a cast iron cupcake pan like they would have used back in the day. It would have been well oiled, well seasoned. I'm gonna go ahead and just spray it a little bit with butter cooking spray. So I'm just gonna kind of do a little. Everything's got a little bit in it, as you can see. That one doesn't.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this in first. So
I would use a spoon,
Take a spoon?
like an actual spoon, like
Alright, cool.
like a silver spoon.
alrighty, big one, okay?
Yep.
Use
Yeah.
this big spoon.
I would just do one spoonful.
One spoonful
in each.
in each.
We have more than one cupcake pan, so.
Yep. And the oven has actually been on for the entirety. I actually thought it might be a little bit more historically correct, because you would have had to build a fire, and it would have had to take a little bit longer. And our oven also sometimes doesn't do the right temperature, so it's somewhere between 350 and 400 degrees. Someone's excited about cupcakes. Very excited. Or there's a goose outside. All right.
I would fill up that pan with that one, and then we'll use
Well,
another. Or you just want to leave it?
I think I want to do half and half.
Okay.
So, because I want to be able to tell. So I'm going to do half and half. I'm going to wipe that off. I did nothing.
Just wipe it on the bowl.
All right. And this is so much easier to get. See how it's just separating?
Mm-hmm.
So much easier. Goodness. This is so much easier on this side. It'd be interesting to see how they, I know this will probably taste a little bit better, but it might not. I might have put too much vanilla in it. Is that too much?
Well, it'll just be a big muffin top. Now you can move this.
Is this what 5 years of marriage is? She didn't allow me to make sausage. Or the wedding cake. I couldn't imagine making the wedding cake right now.
Would have been appropriate, though.
Would have been very appropriate. See, you should have let me. So another fun story is that we actually didn't, our wedding cake was an ice cream cake, because we like ice cream cakes better. And the one that we had, like, basically custom made, we lost power on the day of our wedding. And the cake melted. So we got married at the Proximity, and they went out and got another ice cream cake. And the power went out again. So our wedding party and our guests basically ordered food, and then the power went out, but our food had come out. So when they gave us the wedding cake, it had already started melting.
So we didn't actually get to cut it.
Yeah, we didn't get to cut it. We had 2 little figurines that we got that looked like us.
That we couldn't put on it.
We couldn't put on it. But we kind of redo that every year. So we usually get a wedding cake. We're going to do cupcakes today, though, because what's better than celebrating graduating and getting into the master's program than making my wife taste something from my class? All right, so I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to pop this in the oven, and then we're going to wait 20 minutes exactly, because it says no more than 20 minutes, and we'll see what we got. All right, be back in 20. All right, so we have cut it in half because they were really thick. We got a glass of milk that I got myself from our cow this morning. So she's gonna try it. Happy wedding anniversary.
Happy wedding anniversary.
Any thoughts before you take this communion bread?
They're very thick and they're very dense. They look more like muffins than they do cupcakes.
Actually look more like cornbread cupcakes, if you know what. Yeah, like
cornbread.
yeah. So I wonder if it'll taste like sweet cornbread, which I love.
Oh, I doubt it. It might taste like a really sweet muffin, I think.
Okay. So would you like
I'm going to try the old one for the one without the
1838
vanilla.
from
18...
Frugal Housewife.
Yeah. I'm going to bake it in half so that you can have some too.
Thanks. I'll let you go first.
Okay.
Are you want to do it at the same time?
No, I can go first if you want.
I won't eat it if it's bad.
Not bad.
It's not bad, really? Are you just teasing me so I eat it?
It tastes like butter and sugar.
It tastes like let me fix this. It tastes like sweet cornbread. It really
like butter
does.
and sugar.
Sweet cornbread.
Yeah.
Very dense. It's good though, for real. It's not bad at all. You need milk with it, but that would be really good with chili. You know? So now we know how to make sweet cornbread without getting the mix.
Well, it's not cornbread.
It is basically cornbread muffins.
There's no cornbread in it. There's no cornmeal in it.
It tastes like cornbread. Can you just go on this journey with me?
Okay.
It's definitely more airy.
Yeah, it feels a little more spongy, like more like cake-like.
I don't know if you can see.
The one that we put the
Versus-
salt and not the salt and
Vanilla and salt.
vanilla in.
All right, ready? This is vanilla and salt. Ready? Oh!
Did you get like a big chunk of salt or something?
There we go. Okay. That was gross for a second.
This one, to me, has less of a taste than the first one.
Right? Like the other one's better.
I can't taste it as much.
No, the other one's definitely better. They both are good. For me, the other one tastes more like, I love cornbread, so the other one tastes more like cornbread to me. But the other one's good too. It's more desserty. The other one's not as desserty.
Yeah.
It's more spongy. It's not bad. Well, happy wedding anniversary.
It's good. It turned out well.
Turned out really, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked. And I'll actually probably keep these and eat on them. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching. This was fun. As she chugs milk to get the taste out of her mouth.
It would be better with some frosting.
I'm not allowed to make the frosting. All right. Well, thanks for joining my cooking show, and see you in class. Bye.